God damn it. Ladies and gents, my name's PepperBelly, and I'm bringing you guys some Star Wars Battlefront. And what you just saw right there was me getting killed by Elohim. I was quite annoyed. In fact, that was like the first 30 seconds of my life in this game. The very first match I ever played, and Elohim takes my V card. I gotta say, it was an honor, Elohim, if you ever find this video somehow. For those of you who are unaware, he's a very popular live streamer on Twitch. Good guy. I watch his streams a lot whenever I can, and he's quite hilarious. And I was actually watching his Star Wars Battlefront stream before I managed to snag myself a code for the early access of Star Wars Battlefront, which is what I am playing currently and what I'm going to be talking about throughout this video. Because the open beta, because this is going to be an open beta, begins tomorrow. But some keys were actually being given out to individuals to get early access a few days in advance, and that's how I managed to get mine today. So it's going to be open the entire weekend up until Monday, which is the 12th. So you guys should definitely, on all platforms too. If you have an Xbox One, or if you have a PlayStation 4, or you're on PC, more specifically Origin, you're going to want to download it and give it a try, because I was pleasantly surprised with the overall experience, because I was one of those individuals who was deeply, deeply concerned with this game. I honestly thought DICE was going to screw up Star Wars Battlefront more profoundly than Ubisoft screwed up Assassin's Creed Unity. Not in the sense that it's not going to run good or being optimized or whatever like Assassin's Creed. I just mean in the sense that it's going to be such an utter disaster to all Star Wars fans out there. They're going to be like, this game is terrible. What the hell happened? Like, we all played Battlefront 2. This game doesn't even match half of that. But anyway, my point is, it actually is good. Surprisingly. That's why I was saying I was pleasantly surprised, because it actually plays like a dream. It's so smooth. The experience is phenomenal. Even though it's vastly different from the past iterations of Battlefront that LucasArts put out. So naturally, people are going to wonder one specific thing. And a lot of people that I've seen comment on videos or talk about Battlefront, one of their main concerns is simply this. Is the game Battlefield 4 with a Star Wars theme slapped on top of it? Is it just a reskin of Battlefield 4, but with Star Wars assets? Now, personally to me, honest to God, telling the truth, it kind of feels like Battlefield. Like, when you're playing in first person, the game feels very much like a Battlefield game. It's got that reminiscent first person mechanics. Everything feels traditional and feels the same way, right? It's on Frostbite, not too much of a difference there. But when you're playing in third person, that's when you will really notice that it does feel different. When you're playing in third person, it feels more like you're playing a Battlefront game. Because obviously the first person in Battlefront 1 and 2 were limited, so most people played in third person. That's how you wanted to experience the game. You wanted to look at your character, you wanted to be immersed into the environment and the assets of the world, and experience full-blown chaotic combat. You want to feel like you're actually part of a set piece versus playing a game. So the game does that pretty well. Alright, like the game right here, this Battlefront, what you gotta keep in mind isn't Battlefront 3. This is technically a remake. It's like a remaster of the first game. Think of it like what Tomb Raider did recently. You know, like Tomb Raider kind of has this whole new thing going on. Same idea. It's a whole new game. Which is why it's kind of acceptable, and I can tolerate it doing things a little differently. Like having battle pickups throughout the map, like the customizable characters, the way you actually unlock gear. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of that. The unlocking gear thing to me is complete bullshit, but I digress. There's a little bit more leniency there, and it does things differently, but it does things well. The game actually, it makes sense. Like when you're playing it, it's fluid. It feels good. The game is actually pretty tolerable. It has this ease to it that's just really simple to get into and really fun. Like I was really concerned about the idea that having jetpacks, you know, booster packs, like people were going to abuse the crap out of that, but it's really not that big of a deal. Like it doesn't alter gameplay that dramatically, and in fact most people run around without them because they want to use other player cards, and the player cards are essentially how you customize your character to equip certain pieces of gear. So you get the sniper rifle that deals a shitload of damage, which is like an instant headshot, or it deals like 90% body damage. It's crazy. This is what I'm using right now, and I just exhausted it. It fires one round and you gotta wait for the card to recharge. Same with using the jetpack or the booster pack or whatever. So it's not overused, you know, it's not abused. It's a very dynamic kind of player ability that actually makes it feel more fun. But the game is rewarding in that context. Like, it's a fun experience. It doesn't feel too much like I'm playing something that is strayed too far from what Battlefront always tried to achieve. Like I said, it does things differently, but it does things well. Like, I'm not a huge fan of the idea that you spawn in vehicles, like, right away, instead of being able to actually go and get in them manually, like they spawn at a certain area, which honestly isn't that bad. Like, that's one thing I was concerned about, you know, being able to spawn in a vehicle. Like, it's just, what the hell, like spawning in a TIE fighter or something. It didn't have the same feeling as going to the hangar yourself and getting in it and then taking off and being able to land and, you know, manually taking out the AT-ATs with a rope by flying around it manually. Like, that stuff is friggin' great, and I'm honestly disappointed it's not there. Like, I miss it. But the action and the intensity is far more apparent now than it was then, because things are always moving at a constant, fast pace. So it makes the cinematic feel of the game, makes the set pieces feel a lot more alive and insane and chaotic, because things are always moving. Because you're not running back to a spawn point to go pick up a vehicle or to go do something, things are always happening quickly, and it just makes the game feel more intense and fast-paced, which isn't terrible, because like I said, it makes the whole thing a more cinematic experience. But there obviously are some problems. Like, I've noticed when I was flying around, and like I was able to just spawn kill the shit out of everyone who would spawn in another fighter. So like, I'd be in a TIE fighter, they get in an X-Wing, and I just sit there waiting for them. I watch them spawning in. You can fly behind them while they have no control of their aircraft. They can't fly it, because it has this camera angle, the cinematic camera, where it's like, it's showing you getting in the fighter, but, you know, then you can't control it, so this dipshit gets behind you and starts lighting you up. Kills you instantly before you even have the ability to fully control yourself and defend yourself. So, I mean, there are some issues there that clearly need to be reworked, because that's just, like, retarded. Like, if you have your whole team controlling the skies, the enemy players don't stand a chance of even getting in, because as soon as you spawn in, they're gonna see it, and they're gonna just charge at you while you have no control of your aircraft, and they're gonna just obliterate the shit out of you before you can do anything. Ground vehicles, not really a problem. And the AT-STs and the AT-ATs are a blast to use. They're insanely fun, literally and figuratively. It's nuts. Just obliterating everything in your wake. It's intimidating seeing these things roll up to you. The game just has this epic set-piece moment. It's just, the whole thing feels like you're playing a movie. Like, it's crazy. You got friggin' lasers and shit flying all over the place. It's pure bliss of chaotic combat. And a lot of its delivery has to do with the sound design. Now, we all know, pretty sure most of you guys are aware, that DICE, creators of Battlefield, are no strangers to when it comes to making some of the best, if not the best, sounds and audio in the gaming industry. It's just like, their sound assets are fucking exceptional. Alright, this game sounds phenomenal. It's probably one of the biggest selling points, is just to hear the sounds. When you're getting in a firefight, when you're shooting stuff, when you're throwing grenades, when you're hearing the AT-STs rolling around, the friggin' fighters, man, all of it. All of it. It's probably the biggest reason to play this game. It's just the sound itself. And I mean that. It's so well done. The gameplay obviously is great. The whole thing is fantastic. But I mean, the sound. Like, good God. They did such an excellent job there. I can praise them day and night, because that's one thing they did absolutely right. That kind of rhymed. Anyway, the video's coming to an end, guys, but I'm going to cover more stuff, because obviously there's some things I don't like, and there's a lot of other problems and things I want to discuss, but I need way more time, so I'm going to make another video that's a lot longer. It's going to go into excruciating detail on all that stuff if you're interested. So subscribe, stay tuned, because it's going to come out in the next few days. Other than that, I shall seek my revenge, Elohim. You just wait. I will see you running along the trenches. I will whip out my sniper rifle, and I will shoot you in the face. Nice. I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.